Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are at the ITU World Triathlon Championship here in beautiful Chicago. We are brought to you by Epson, and you're watching us on triathlete.com. My next guest, two-time Ironman world champion, one-time ITU world champion, Mr. Krige Schabort. How you doing?
I'm doing very good. I just got in, almost didn't make it for this, so glad I'm here and ready to roll.
So talk a little bit about when you were first injured.
Oh, yeah.
That's
long ago. That is 1987, so it's coming to 30 years. I was yesterday at my house. Two Hercules C-160s or C-130s flew right over my house.
Yes.
And those were the ones that flew me in after my injury. And I told my wife, you know what, every time I see those, I have that feeling in my stomach. And but it's a feeling of relief right now, you know.
Right.
And we were just saying, she was just saying, you know, if anything like that has to happen to our family again, it will be, devastating. She couldn't think what my parents had to go through.
How old were you at the time?
I was 24.
You were 24 and you were in the military?
Mm-hmm. In the military, yeah.
And you were basically bombing. There was a bombing and you were...
Yeah,
victims.
we took an enemy base and we had a temporary area where we were waiting for further command.
Yes.
And next moment, MiGs came over, jets, and they knew exactly where we were. They dropped their bombs and they took off. And one of the bombs, landed and exploded about 2 yards away from me.
And so you were laying there basically with your leg on your chest.
Yeah, I remember that, like going up in the air, doing like a backflip, falling on my back, and at the time I only had shorts on because we were shorts and flip-flops.
Right.
And a part of my foot was lying here on my chest, still in the flip-flop.
And you're in trouble then.
Then, right at the moment, I was still trying to get up and run.
Yeah.
But then when I looked, I saw my legs was not looking very promising. So.
What's interesting is nowadays there are so many opportunities for people who, lose a limb or become paralyzed. This is 87. That's a long time ago. What was available and how hard was it for you to basically get back into life after this?
Well, you're absolutely right. In 87, there was no internet. TV was the only thing, but there was no a lot of media on things that you could do. And I was a surfer in Cape Town, and I always thought if a shark gets me, and I don't have any legs,
right.
my life will be devastating.
Right.
And for the moment, I thought it was.
Sure.
But then you don't always know what's going on behind the scenes. When I went for rehab, they introduced all these sports. But it was a lot more, not primitive then, but the racing chairs and the wheelchairs and
they
were
primitive.
Compared to now, they were.
No,
you're right.
What it is now.
So, and I went to a track event. My therapist took me to a track event, and I fell in love with the idea of racing, and I made a homemade racing chair.
You made your own.
Well, a company helped me to make it, but we
Yes.
were working together. Just a local company there in
Yeah.
Cape Town, and it was going like this all over the show. But I did my first marathon in it.
So talk a little bit about when the world changed and all of a sudden there's the Ironman and there's marathons and there's all these opportunities for people in hand cycles and racing chairs. When did that come into your life?
Well, I would definitely say the 90s was the big change.
Yeah.
Really a big jump, the mid to later 90s. And I moved to the US in 97.
Right.
And that opened it up a lot for me. And of course, then when the internet and newer ways of media started, it was so much easier to see what's going on and what's out there. But I always had in mind, long ago, 1989 or 1990, I did my first short triathlon in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I was just a swimmer.
Right.
And I always thought I would like to go back to it, but there was never really the opportunity. And then when Ironman,
94 was first year.
when Carlos did it, yes. I don't know.
It was Dr. John Franks was the first to try. Didn't make the bike cutoff time. 95.
Okay.
John McLean tried it 95 and 96.
Yes.
Didn't make the bike cutoff.
Really?
Finally made it in 97, and then Carlos came in 98.
98. Wow, it's amazing. But now here Carlos is coming back, right? He's going back
Carlos
this
at the
year.
age of 50.
He's
coming back.
Smothering.
He wants to go
He's
sub 10.
smothering. Man, yeah, you can do it. But anyway, so those, and then when I started watching Ironman on TV, and I still had all these marathons that I wanted to do, but they kept repeating itself, and there was nothing new that really got into my jitters to
you needed a new challenge.
Yeah,
you needed something new.
Yep. And with the swimming background, I had some. And that's how I just, started, okay, I'm going to do a triathlon. My sponsor was there with one of his athletes one year, and he said, you know what, this is a good event for you. You should do this. And then I started training. I was actually here in Chicago doing the Chicago Marathon in 2008, I think, or 9. And when he called me, and it was the same day Kona was on, and he said, you should be here.
You should do this next year.
Yeah.
So when was your first Kona?
My first Kona was 2010, and then that year I did a 9:26
in one.
And one, yes, I broke the record. And then the following year I really wanted to go sub 9. I trained for sub 9, but I bettered my time. I did a 1:24 and change, but just couldn't. And then someone else actually came and he broke the 9-hour mark, which is amazing. Oh, an Austrian athlete.
Oh, he went sub 9 in the chair.
9. He had a really fast bike time.
Yes.
I think it was a good year. He said that the winds were
mellow.
very, very mellow that year, and they could go fast times on the bike, and that really counts to your time a lot.
So going from long distance, usually people go from short distance racing to long distance racing.
Yeah.
You have gone just the opposite. Usually you use your speed and you're able to transfer out to go long.
Yeah.
Going from long to short, how tough has that been for you?
Yeah, originally it was. I mean, it's still hard. I mean, I just turned 52, and so I'm not. I used to be fast on the 200 and 400 and 1500.
Right.
And then I switched to marathons as I got older, and like you say, you go back to short again. It's a shock for the system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a different. It's basically pain cave. It's pain cave, redlining it from gun to finish, and that's hard. But I've been trying to get my mind into it, and I'm getting there.
What would it mean to you, as a guy who's been involved with the triathlon for so long, to after winning Ironman a couple times, to make the Paralympics, make the first ever para triathlon and go down to Rio?
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Especially at 52.
Yeah, at 52.
That's a great statement.
Absolutely, and I've been there for marathons and track, and to be at the Paralympic Games for the first, triathlon, para triathlon, will be an amazing honor for me, and to represent the US. It's something I really work for, and the day I'm finished there, I'll probably say, okay, I've got my goals, and I might back up and go and do something else.
I love it. Krige, thanks so much for taking time.
You're absolutely welcome.
Always
Thank you.
a pleasure. I think the last time we chatted was back in 2011 in Kona.
That's right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Krige Schabort has been our guest again. This is Breakfast with Bob. We're at the ITU World Triathlon Championships here in beautiful Chicago. We are brought to you by Epson. We're airing on triathlete.com. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.